Today we're going to be going through every character's fourth ability, worst to best. And guys, I know it's been a minute. I haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks, but rest assured I am alive and I will be uploading some more content. But for the people that are new, we are still doing early access giveaways. And if you want a chance to win some early access, be sure to like and subscribe and let me know down in the comments whether or not you are subscribed. And with that being said, we're going to have to get into our worst ultimate ability, which I'm going to say is Atomic Slash. And the thing with Atomic Slash, it has very high damage. And fun fact about Atomic Slash, it used to have a little bit lower damage, like it didn't do as much before, but since it's ridiculously hard to hit and you just sit there, you kind of just have to wait for somebody to walk into, and you know what I mean, like you can't move with it at all, and it takes so long to start up to the point where you barely ever hit it, which is why they increased the damage. I'm not gonna lie, that's all it has going for it, just damage. Plus, I don't really think you can get hit during this, and for some reason when you activate it, it doesn't stun anybody. Like it doesn't keep them in place when you use it, so they can literally just walk away. It's stupid. It's so stupid. They need to buff it. Like the only time I've been hit by it is if I got ragdolled by someone else into it, because even if you get ragdolled and someone uses the ability on you, you can still run away. If you hit somebody on the ground and immediately use that ability, they can just back handspring away. Increasing the damage on an ability that's already hard to hit does not make it better. That ability cannot be incorporated into any combo because there are a bunch of abilities that people have that you can really do some crazy combos with, even though it's an ultimate. Think about Speed of Sound Sonic. You can literally use every single one in unison and just do a bunch of damage, and that ultimate is just OP. And think about Garo's Crushed Rock. You can immediately combo that into something else. So with that being said, now we're gonna have to get into our second worst ability. I almost left the game. Which is an ability that you cannot really combo with, and the ability in question is Death Blow. Now the reason Death Blow is at this spot in the list is simply because you can't really do a lot with it in terms of combos. Now of course it does a bunch of damage, it's a death blow, but unlike Death Counter, you actually have to put yourself in a position where someone has to come hit you. With Saitama, there's no indication, there's no noise, there's no nothing. If you walk towards somebody with Death Counter on and they haven't previously fought you, they're most likely gonna think that nothing is happening. But with Death Blow, you can kind of really predict it. If an ulting metal bat just runs up to you and hits Death Blow, just don't touch him. Now, when it works, you do get an insta kill, which is perfect. But the only times you're really able to land this is on people that are kind of just, how do I put this? Stupid. And if I'm being honest, it's been a long time since I've actually been hit by a Death Blow. You really just gotta play a bunch of mind games in order to really hit it. Now, one thing that is actually kind of crazy about it is that you can fake out people with Death Blow. If I use Savage Tornado and then I use Death Blow, right? You can actually bait somebody with it. I can use Brutal Beatdown, Death Blow. And the reason this is actually a thing is because of course you're stationary using Death Blow, and it actually prompts somebody to hit you, because once you use one of these abilities, there's a short period of time where you're able to be hit. So you have to play a bit of mind games and fake somebody out in order to have this work. But some people just aren't gonna touch you, so the fake out doesn't really work. But I don't think you can actually do it with strength difference. Let's see, because with strength difference, you're moving when you're using it. Yeah, you can't really use Death Blow with it. So using Savage Tornado and then Death Blow, or Brutal Beatdown and Death Blow, kind of makes it a bit better, just because it increases the likelihood of you landing the attack. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our third worst ability, which I'm gonna say is Omnidirectional Punch. Now I know what you're thinking, why the heck are you putting Omnidirectional Punch better than Death Blow? With Death Blow, you can fake people out, you can play mind games with them and make sure that they actually get hit by it. But with Omnidirectional, once you use it, somebody can just dodge it, right? Well, here's the thing about Omnidirectional Punch. One thing about it is that its hitbox is so crazy. I've been put in so many different situations where I've used Omnidirectional Punch, or I've had it used on me and the person either wasn't looking in my direction or I was just far away and I just get magnetized towards it. So that's one thing about Omnidirectional Punch. Another thing about Omnidirectional Punch is that it's a 100% success rate if you manage to get rid of their ragdoll cancel and you down slam them, or uppercut, doesn't really matter, right? After you get rid of the ragdoll cancel and you do a down slam, you are always going to hit Omnidirectional Punch. With Death Blow, it's always going to be some sort of probability because it's based off, oh, what's up, bro? Hello, welcome to the video. But it's always based off whether or not they attack you. Both Omnidirectional, it's kind of user specific. Subscribe to the Spoochie. Hey, do I got a dap me up emote? Hold on. Dap me up. Dap me up. Yes, sir. Now, as I was saying, what was I saying actually? Yeah, omnidirectional punch is very user specific, but death blow, you kind of have to lean towards chance and how stupid the player is. Now, you can also just walk up to a group of people and use omnidirectional and hit somebody with it. Now, is it practical for actually like getting a bunch of kills and getting a streak and, you know, just having a bunch of skill behind it? Not really. It's kind of just something to do to make somebody mad. Like a lot of the abilities on this list, you can get multiple kills with it and you can do some type of string. Now, atomic slash, not really, but I didn't mention for atomic slash that it has some type of area of effect damage that you can incorporate with other people if they're close to it. So if someone manages to get hit in the crossfire of atomic slash, they're also going to get dealt a bunch of damage. And with death blow, if someone doesn't manage to hit you, Metal Bat will slam his bat on the ground and still do area of effect damage to everyone else. Omnidirectional, none of that really happens. It has some type of area of effect if you miss, but it's not that much. Plus, after you actually land it, I'm pretty sure everyone just flies up, but right here, oh, that still hit him. See, bro, the range is crazy though. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not gonna lie, I also hate just waiting. This is why I don't like using omnidirectional. Let me try this again. If I use this, right, I use omnidirectional. He's all the way over there. If he still gets hit by this, I quit the game. Okay. So yeah, it does a good amount of damage. 30% on a missed omnidirectional punch, and that's gonna hit a lot of other people. That's definitely a reason to put that a bit higher in the list. But with that being said, almost left the game again. We're gonna have to get on to our third best ultimate ability, and I'm gonna say that it is Crushed Rock for Garo. Now, the reason I'm putting Crushed Rock at this spot in the list is mainly because of the speed and the distance. Now, a lot of Garo's abilities are close ranged. You got Water Stream Rock Smashing, you got Final Hunt, and you got Rock Splitting Fist. And the thing with all of these abilities, as well as the other abilities when he's not using ultimate, is that you have to be close by in order for it to work. But Crushed Rock adds its own little spin to where you can actually pursue the player. Plus, it hits a bunch of people if they're close by, so it has area of effect damage. If I put some type of dummy around here and I use Crushed Rock, all these people get hit by the area of effect. And then you can use Final Hunt on somebody after they fall if they don't have Ragdoll cancel, or you can immediately use, I forgot what the ability was called. If I use Crushed Rock, I can immediately use Water Stream Rock Smashing, right? Or I can use Rock Splitting Fist. Now, they just recently did a buff to Garo to where there isn't any lag whenever he uses Crushed Rock. There used to be a point where they would have to wait for him to kind of settle out of his animation. And I think that was mainly because this used to be a finisher move. But now that it's not, you know, you can actually do some things with it. I only really have to talk about the damage. Like, of course, it does a really decent amount, like 47, that went all the way to 21. It's like 26%. It's not 30%. It's not nothing crazy, but you can still do a lot with it. You can pursue enemies. You can get a lot of distance, like I said previously. And when you hit somebody with it, you're also invincible. And like I said before, the area of effect damage is so great that you can do a bunch of combos after that. So Crushed Rock is at a very solid spot in the list. Now, the one con that I have with Crushed Rock is that you can still be interrupted by it if someone hits you. Right before you start to dash towards somebody, you can immediately get that interrupted if someone hits you, which sucks. But if you actually land the attack and use the suplex, then yeah, you're pretty much invincible. But overall, it's a pretty solid ability. But ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our second best ultimate ability, and I'm gonna say that it's Garo's Incinerate. We have to go over a bunch of pros for this freaking ability because it is crazy. The first is that the second, and I mean the millinano picosecond you use this ability, you're invincible. Watch, hold on, Incinerate, boom. Literally, it's just, you can't do anything about it. You can just use it whenever you want. If someone's right beside you, they can immediately die as well. Someone can be at 100%, right? But if you use Incinerate near some type of wall, let me zoom out so this music isn't here. If I use Incinerate near a tree or a wall or a bench or anything that would cause the player to not go far away from the gusts of wind and smoke and everything, you can kill them literally from 100% health, or you can just do a lot more damage because Incinerate is strictly based off of the distance you are from the player when it comes to the damage. So if someone's far away, it's not gonna do a lot, but if someone is very close, it's gonna do a bunch of damage. And of course, you can hit a bunch of people. So you got Bob, Billy, Joe, Jasmine, Goku, Vegeta. You got all these random people. And if I use my ultimate, if I can actually find the activate ultimate, because I always manage to lose it. Let me get a sip of water while this happens. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, if I use Incinerate right here, right, which is a very realistic situation, you know, everybody's just fighting and you use it, right? Everybody that was 20% health, they're dead. Anybody that was around like 50 or lower, or 50 or above, you know, they're very low, right? You might not be able to get every kill, but right after Incinerate, you can use Speed Blitz Dropkick, and the area of effect on that will pretty much just kill everybody. Now, I don't know why no particles just went out, because, and that dude was standing up. Did y'all see that? But overall, Incinerate, when you combine the damage, the invincibility, the area of effect, and just the amount of time that it takes to finish, like, I be getting so mad when someone uses Incinerate and I'm like 40% health, and it just slowly brings me down all the way to 0. And there are some people, well, they'll join a game, 2 or 3 Garos, and the one will use Incinerate, then the next will use Incinerate, the next will use Incinerate. So the entire server is just getting burnt. It sucks, but the ability doesn't suck, which is great. But with that being said, now we're gonna have to move on to our best ultimate ability. And I'm gonna say that this one is 4-fold Flash Strike. And the reason I'm putting this above Incinerate is because it pretty much has all of the perks of Incinerate, but although the range is kind of reduced, what makes up for it is the insane amount of damage. So you can see we have all these people like 80, 90, 100, and it goes all the way down to 40, 50. Look, everybody's like 40, 50, and I use it again. Bro, look how low they are. It does so much damage. I can immediately just do 4 M1s and then immediately use 4 float. That's not floor full. But as I was saying, this guy has 77 health over here. If I use 4 M1s and I immediately use 4-fold Flash Strike, bro went from 63 health, or not even 63, he went from 77 health to 28. That's like what, 49? So bro went from 100 to 51. So 49% damage just off of that one simple combo. Now you can use Twin Blade Rush and immediately use 4-fold Flash Strike. You can use Straight On, which also has a bunch of crazy damage. And if you use Straight On very close by, you can go to the person and use a 3M1 attack and then immediately use 4-fold Flash Strike afterwards. Or you can even reverse that, and after using 4-fold Flash Strike at a certain distance, bro, can y'all say that 5 times fast? 4-fold Flash Strike, 4-fold Jesus. Anyways, if I use 4-fold Flash Strike right here, I can slide back and still do whatever I need to do, right? So right here, okay, I can't do that because I'm on infinite cooldowns mode, but if I did it regularly, bro would have went from 100 all the way to 21 immediately. Then I'd immediately use Straight On. I'm stuttering a lot today, but it's cool. I gotta get back into the swing of things for the Spoochie channel. But as you can see, bro got mollywopped with 3 abilities. We didn't even use Carnage. Right now, Carnage, I think you can mix 4-fold Flash Strike into it, definitely, and I'm pretty sure it does, yeah, decent amount of damage. I think it was 2% more than the other one. So yeah, you can do a lot with it. There's a lot of combo potential, especially if someone doesn't have Ragdoll Cancel. Unlike Death Blow or Atomic Slash or any other of those random abilities, kind of really doesn't matter if someone doesn't have Ragdoll Cancel, because with Straight On and Twin Blade Rush, you can kind of just bypass that if you have good sensitivity and you're kind of fast with reaction time. But ladies and gentlemen, that is every character's 4th ultimate ability. My bad for being on a 3-week hiatus. I've been doing some other things, but thanks for watching. Subscribe and click on this video right here.